What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing some awesome stuff, like using the Digico offline editor and whatnot. But yeah, we'll roll the intro and get straight into it. Alright, so I'm currently living in Melbourne, and if you're a Melbourne resident, you'll know that we've just gone back into a 7-day lockdown.
Once again, we are bracing for a lockdown.
4 new cases, including...
Alright, yeah, so that's that. Currently moving house, which is all fun and games, but my room is a massive mess in there. I'm going to make a coffee, and we'll go into the offline editor I should say, and yeah, start making stuff, start mucking around and whatnot. Should be sweet. Alright, hey everyone, we are now in the studio, and we are going to try and make a template for, so this is going to be a front of house show. I'm going to be using the SD5 software, which you will see I've just loaded up here. And that's using Touch Portal. As if you notice, I didn't actually click anything. So that's this thing here, this software here on my iPad, which is absolutely awesome for shortcuts and whatnot. I'll be using it heaps throughout this. It makes it super easy to do editing like this and programming, because there's heaps of shortcuts on here. I've got the optional feature, second function feature on here and everything. So yeah, so let's get right into it. This is actually my second attempt doing this, but my software was mucking up with the video capture card and whatnot. So yeah, this is round 2. So if we go, so the first thing you would do when you load this up is you go session structure, and this is basically how you can reset your console. So obviously you can go default all, but I've already started this up. But yeah, you've got your session title, which you'll put in, amount of channels. So I would normally run 128, but for this I did, actually we can bring this back down, go channel order. So as you can see here, these are all mono except for my last 6, so they are all for my effects. Okay, so now you can see we've got 128 channels. Because this is a SD5, it obviously has a lot more channels than what you could do with a say SD11 or whatnot. But I thought, since we're doing a fun little video here in lockdown, might as well bring out the big puppy, the girl SD5. And yeah, so this is the input channels, running 128 with 6 stereo, and then we can come down here with our aux buses. This front of house, like I was saying before, so I've only got 5 mono and 10 stereo. That is way too overkill for front of house. I'll probably not even be using that many at all. I'll be using like 6 stereo, and that's pretty much it. Actually, that's untrue. I'll be using 7, because I'll show you guys a really cool thing in a little bit with your solo bus or your PFL bus, whatever you want to call it, and how you can keep your talk back in it no matter what, which is pretty cool. And then you've got your group buses, so I'll show you this. So I normally run 10 in total. So my whole show file pretty much is, I primarily use control groups group buses to mix my show. So They're kind of like control groups, except which are control groups are for people who don't really know Digico. They are pretty much TCAs and VCAs, or you can use them as mute group. So the difference is with group buses, you have more dynamic control, so you can compress the group, you can gate the group, you can put inserts on the actual group itself, which comes in really handy. And yeah, so that's why I do that. And then, so after you do that, so I'll go back into it. So my group will be, so I have drums, which is stereo, bass, which is mono, and then after that we've got all our guitars, all our keys, all our instruments. So it's pretty much extra, which I haven't covered, so that could be like strings, playback, all that sort of stuff. Also wind instruments and whatnot. And then after we've got that, we've got our so then we've got our backing vocal, our lead vocal, our MC, which is basically just a person who talks over and directs the show, pretty much introduces bands, announcer and all that. And then we've got number 9, which is playback. So it's all house music for pre and after show, and for my computer and everything. And we've got a master. Of course you can run video lines off this and whatnot, for if you're running just a stereo recording, for audio recording, you can run that through here, of course. Make sure output's 24, make sure inputs and outputs are at 24, I'm just leaving that. Control groups are 5, I'll only need 3, got 2 extra just in case. I'd just also like to quickly say that if you are going to change this in the after we do our layout and that, make sure you click this here, rebuild banks horizontally, because you don't actually want to rebuild your banks after you do it. You can manually put them in after, because if you do that, it's just going to completely change our layering, our custom layering, what we're going to be making. Alright, so I'm not going to do audio or all that. Everything is pretty much clear. And then so then we can go restructure down here. I'm not going to do that because I already have done it. And then so the next thing you will do is you'll save that, so it'll pop up with save. So you go, I always save mine to a USB. Then so you can save that here. I've remade it. So I named mine is SD5 band template, and then date. And with the dates, you can use dots or full stops, because you can't use slashes or anything like that. Okay, so you click overwrite, and then after you've done that, we are pretty much ready to start building our shofar. So so after you've done that, you can then go layout and go to fader banks, and you can pretty much wipe off, well, this is how I'm going to do it. I like to wipe off everything here, mostly for the fact that I'm very picky with where I have things in my my mix. Obviously it's going to be completely different for different scenarios. Obviously if you're on the fly, you're just going to have everything just 1 to however many just already set up. But everybody's different, of course. And this is how I'm going to be setting up mine today. So I'm going to move this to here, move this to here. Obviously if you know all your instruments and channels, input channels are going to be white, or your auxes are going to be purple, or your matrices are going to be this light cyan color, and your talkback is going to be this light blue. and control groups are dark blue, if I can already say that. Alright, so clear that, clear that, clear that. Yeah, so we're pretty much just clearing everything here because we are going to bring it back in, but it's all going to be, it's all going to look completely different to the default thing here. Alright, so once we are up to this stage, we're going to go into our channel list, and we're just going to start labeling some stuff. So with our inputs, I'm going to be running 6 effects, obviously with the SD5 because I can and I have the room for it. Obviously if you don't have the room for it, you're not going to have as many effects, but these are just the effects what I normally have. So I have my drum plate, and then because these are the returns in the input channels, I'm just going to write return there, and then I'm going to be having my inst verb return. So inst verb can be for guitars, strings, piano, all that sort of stuff. And then I'm going to have my chorus return, which can be for acoustic guitar, backing vocals, all that sort of stuff. Obviously depends on the genre, depends on what you're mixing, where you're mixing it, everything like that, who's playing. And then we'll have our box plate return, and then box verb or hold, say return, and then vocal delay return. As I said earlier, these are all stereo channels here, which you can do in your session structure. You can go add stereo. Alright, so after we've done this, I'll then work backwards to things what I'll always have. So as I said, this is just a template with, I'm just adding pretty much stuff what I'll be bringing with me. So I've got MP3 left, MP3 right, and then PC left and PC right. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then we have our side of stage talkback mic, and our front of house talkback mic, and then we'll have our on stage MD talkback mic, and a second one or a spare. Alright, and then we'll have our crowd mics. Alright, so that's pretty much the only inputs I'm going to be putting in. So that's pretty well set. I've got MDs, I've got side of stage or monitor talkback, front of house talkback, my phone and my computer with QLab, and then all my effects. So, and also if you don't know crowd mic, that's going to be pretty much my so crowd mics pick up the audience and give overall ambience to your ears, or if you're going to be having a broadcast, that will also be routed into that, or for live recordings as well. So after we've done that, we are now going to go into we've got, okay, so just double checking. Alright, so everything's still working. Alright, sweet. So then we'll come down to aux outputs. Now with our aux outputs, we'll just basically copy everything what we just did, but this is going to be the send into it. So with the effects on Digico, you route your effects how you want it. It's not automatically done. So with this, you'll be having your effects go from so instead of like a minus M32 or Alien Heath GLD or anything like that, nothing's actually already got a return and send built in. So you have your aux send, which is aux bus. So you have your aux send routed into the effect unit and then routed back out. So yeah. So we'll go drum plate send inst verb send chorus send vox plate send vox call send, and then we will go to vox delay send. Alright, awesome. And then this one here we'll do as our solo send, and I'll show you what that is for after. And then we've got group output. So as I was saying before too, got our drum group, our bass group, which is just mono, you don't really need a stereo bass group. We've got a guitar group, and then we've got keys, inst, backing vocal, lead vocal, MC, and playback, which can also be playback. Oh, sorry. What's going on there? Yeah, that's, and playback. Alright, too easy. And then we've got our mask group, which you can also do is, this is just stereo, but you can do left, right, center, left, right, center, and then yeah, so left, right, center, S. I don't know what the S is for, but you can see if we go up here, you've got that one, and you've also got 5.1 surround sound. So yeah, that's that. And then after we've done our channels and whatnot, we can then go into a control group. So this is going to be for another control for my effects. So basically this will have my my input channel return for my plate, my return for my hall, and my send aux for my return delay. And that basically for the delay, while I have the send is so you can throw and catch certain words and whatnot. And these two here are pretty much just mute groups for their effects. I don't have one for the other verbs and whatnot because they can pretty much just stay on the whole time. Alright, and then after we do that, you've got your solos and your talkback, but we won't be using this at all. Alright, so we can then close this and go layout, fader banks. Actually, we won't need that yet. Alright, so now we can start putting stuff where we want it. So basically on my center one, so with the SD5 you've got 3 banks of 12, which equals 36, and then I think you have a master as well, but we're not worrying about that right now. We're just having the 3 banks of 6, so 3 banks of 12. And yeah, so this is the sound one. It's only got 4 layers, so you can have so basically you have 4 banks by 4, so then you can have as you can see here, 4 layers of that bank, and then you've also got layers here that you can choose. So basically what we want on this one, so you just go LCD function from here and assign faders. Alright, so we want these first 9 to be, so you go channel list, and this is how you assign what you want to them. So I want these all to be my groups, so, and then I want these 3 to be my control groups. Right, so this is our first one done. Then this one's going to be our miscellaneous one, so this will have all our pretty much everything what you don't really always need to see or look at, because it's kind of preset. Yeah, so we can have a crowd, and then 4 talkbacks, talkback system, there we go, and then we can have playback. So basically, also this is why I do this, because I much prefer just to insert it like I did, because as you can see I've left gaps in here, and yeah, it's pretty much just the way I do it to have more of a custom layout for me to work with. Alright, so the next one we'll have aux groups, so this is going to be our effects. So here we can go some faders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so these are going to be our sends. So I'll pretty much do this because it's kind of just easier to work with if you have any problems or whatnot. I just find it easier to use. So you've got your returns. So you have your send, return, send, return, send, return. I just find that really easy to use. And then this last page can be our solo system. So we're not going to do that yet. We can do that in a little bit. And then yeah, so that's pretty much set for now. And then we can go layout, fader banks, and relabel all of these. So this will be my main page. It's my miscellaneous. And then this last one here is going to be my effects. Alright, too easy. And then, so basically how I run my session is I have my channels mostly to my left, but I can also have them to my right. So basically, once I set my channels on my left and sound check them all and get a good mix, I then primarily run my show off my main fader bank here. So this has all my groups and all my vocal effects, and like I was saying earlier, these are pretty much just mute groups, which you can actually have here, but yeah. So these are VCA style, and then so we can come down here and select our return for our vocal plate. So you click this button, and then also you can have your spill, which I think, yeah, so it goes on your left, and it just shows you pretty much what's, sorry, my camera just went out. So it pretty much just shows what is actually in that control group. So if we go back here, you can go off that, and join and leave, you can see here changes all your buttons, and it just lets you select what you want pretty much in it. And then if you delay, as I said before, we're going to use our send, so you can catch words and whatnot, and then you can just go back to solo, and it just shows you normal buttons. Now, with my software down here, I can click Option All. You can see when I touch my button, my shortcut on my Stream Deck thing down here, you can see it all changes, and when you click that, you can select all of them and they all go up. So yeah, that's that. Now let's do some effects. So my first effect, I'm going to be having my drum plate. Actually, sorry, that's a lie. So my first effect is going to be my kick ambience. So that's going to be used as an insert instead of a bus. So that's just for the kick. And then after that, we will have plate versus drum plate. And then after that, we'll have our instrument plate, which is large hall. And then after our large hall, we will have our chorus. So I'm just going to use guitar chorus, but obviously, depending on what it is, you can change it. And after the guitar chorus, we will have our piano. Where is it? Here we go. Guitar thickener, and also and piano thickener, and also woodwind thickener. Okay, so these are pretty much just here for if I do need to insert them. They are not at all going to be all used, but they are just inserts for if I really need them. And then after that, we will have our so after that we've got a drum plate, a large hall, and then we will have, so we can go and we'll go chorus, and we'll do our vocal plate. So you can go here, vocal plate, and these are all just presets. Obviously you will change them. You can see here you've got the graph too, of how you want to change it, and of course you've got your decay and everything down here. And then after we've done that, we will then go up here and do our whole. So this is more of a whole, like a longer verb, not so much just an ambience. Sometimes you use cathedral or a large hall. This is for like really quiet kind of songs, and like especially with female vocalists when they really project and whatnot. I love to put a nice long reverb on there. So for today we're just going to use large hall, and of course you can just come here and always change it for whatever you're doing. And last and not least, we'll just have a delay. Sweet, so they are all done now, and we can actually route these all. So here we will have, so these are all going to be on post fader. This is also a thing what you should probably do first. Oh, sorry, hang on. Yeah. And then second. And then once you've done that, and then go and route them all. So this one's out is going to go into your drum plate, and then pretty sure you should be able to ripple these. Hopefully, I think. Actually, no, we're not going to because we've got other ones too. So this one's going to be a large hole. This one's going to be for your guitar chorus. This one's going to be for the vocal plate. This one's going to be for your vocal hole. And then, of course, your vocal delay. So here you can also see what are inserts. So you've got your kick ambience, guitar thickener, piano thickener, and woodwind thickener, and they're just all inserts. Alright, so that is pretty much it for our effects. And we can go back to our mist channel. Another thing I do, of course, is reset pan. Everything I'm doing right now is pretty much just to save time for, save time for everything else. I've actually stuffed this up. This is to be like that. Right, there we go. Right, that is looking pretty good. Right, now another thing what you can do here. Another thing what I do with the group. So with this last chart, I'm just going to insert the master now. I'll show you why. So with this setup, you'll notice here at the top that absolutely every channel is inserted to it. So basically what you want to do is just clear all, and then on this sheet here you can select which you want to actually be in your group, so your master group. So because I want all my drums to go into this, you're not also going to have them into your master group, you're just going to have them into this, and then this is going to be routed into master group. So with crowds, you don't really need them in your master, but I'm just going to have these in my master. These can also go into your master because they are not getting routed into a group. Also with your crowd left and right, if you're doing front of house, make sure you don't put them in your front of house at all. MP3, I'm going to have into playback, and also same as my PC. So that is going to go into that. And then with these, they can all go into my master as well. Okay, awesome. So back on the subject of doing all this grouping and whatnot, if we go to here, we can put this into our masters. And then that is looking pretty good. I'm gonna take this out because that is not what I want them to do. Right, okay. Because this is going to go through matrices, and that's how I'm going to have my outputs. So matrix outputs. With this, I'm going to have my solo wedge left and my solo wedge right. So they're just speakers at front of house I can have, and my solo left, solo right, and therefore headphones. And you do actually need, pretty sure, a headphone amp, which is what I normally use anyway, because our solo is going to be routed through outputs, just normal outputs behind the desk. And then, actually I'm just going to double check that. Yeah, there's, I don't think you can route it to your actual headphone jack. But that is alright. Right, so then after you've done that, so we're pretty much now working on the solo system I was talking about earlier, and whatnot. So with the solo system, with your MD and your talkbacks and whatnot, if you solo something and then you solo something else and then you clear the solo, obviously you're not going to be able to hear your MD or whatnot anymore. And basically, if you run your solos through a matrix, that basically means that you can always listen to your talkback system and whatnot. So that's really helpful for always having your talkback and your MD mics and whatnot. Be able to hear them through your headphones, and yeah, so basically with MD, if you don't know what MD is not the drug. It is a person up on stage who can direct to a person off stage what they need in their ears or anything like that. They're also a music director, so they help the band go through with everything, but we just basically use them as a talkback system to us from the band, because each band member isn't going to have a talkback mic. So that's also why I made a aux up here, aux output, because you can route that aux output into a matrix. And then that basically means you can save channels instead of having every single talkback channel route to a separate matrix in. So you can just route your inputs into the aux and then that goes into the matrix in. So we can do that now. Alright, so when we click up here on our matrix page here, you can see that we've got all our ins and all our outs. And if you go down here, you'll notice that we have our outputs, what we already labeled. So we've got our solo edge left, solo edge right, solo left and solo right. So these are for our headphones and these for our wedge. Now up here we're going to go, up here and we're going to go, so we're going to have our solo one left. And we're going to have our solo one right. And also you'll notice that it says do not solo this, and that is really true, because if you do solo this, it means that you will have a internal loop. So that's for very good. knowledge. And then, of course, we're going to have our aux group, which is actually stereo. I'm going to go here. Ripple effect, which if you don't know, means they just nice ripples it. You can see here, it's got a solo send and a solo send. So basically, what we're going to do is we have our solo send up, and we can do normally. No, that is not that. Here we go. Yeah, so you can go there. And then go to 0 dB. Okay, so basically what this has done is, of course you've got to turn them on as well. I have the solo send, your left into your left solo wedge, and your right solo send in your right, and then same with your normal PFL that goes into your wedge. Of course, you're not going to have your talkback really in it, like your front of house talkback, because that will just feedback. So yeah, you don't need that in it really. And then of course you've got your solo left and solo right, or you send into your normal headphones, same for your PFL. So basically that's how you do your matrix system. It's pretty easy. Also, I've only done the aux because for people with SD11 and whatnot, which don't really have that much room for stuff. It basically means that you can insert more stuff into your send where you always want to be hearing through your wedge, to pretty much save room instead of having every single input here what you want routed into it. So yeah, that should work pretty good. So now what you can do, what we'll do down here, we'll keep our master there, that's fine, and we'll insert our solo send. We'll insert our matrix outputs, so our solo wedge, and in-ears. So yeah, and then this will be master control for your in-ears, master control for your wedge, and your solo send for what you want, always in them. And then after that, you can then also have solo 1 and your solo 2. Okay, so that's pretty good for this page. Then you've got your master, or if you need to do any quick changes to that, that is on the center page. Awesome. So that is looking pretty good. So far we have all of our main groups, our control groups for our effects. Then you've got your crowd mics, talkback system, and your playback. And then you've got your effects, which are all routed. And you've got your solo group and your master for the fourth one. We go fader banks. Now this video is only a template, so we're not going to go into full detail. However, saying that though, this is Sorry. This is pretty much a template for a front of house when you rock up, or even at home if you have a sheet with everything, which we're going to do in the next video. That's going to be super fun and super cool. We'll have a sheet and stage plot and whatnot, and we'll just go through it all and actually prep each channel as if we were going to do a show. So that'll be super fun. Make sure you stick around for that. So now that we've gone up to this stage, we aren't finished, but it is a good time to save everything. So you come up here to my USB. You can see here that I've already made a folder for SD5. This is the show we're doing, and you can save that and override it. So make sure you don't save to another show if you don't want it to completely wipe the previous show and replace it with this. So pretty much also we can now, so I'll always have my effects on this side, sorry, my aux, so that's just 1 through to 15 of all my auxes. That's just so they're always there, and then I'm also going to have all my matrices and whatnot here, and then so we could actually do that now. I probably could have kept my matrix page, but I normally have another separate page just for matrices. So then after that, sorry, another layer just for my main PA. So that would be like main left, main right, sub, front fill, side fill, delay, all that sort of stuff. So an actual page just for that. So I might leave that for now. And then up here, this is your solo page, as you know. And then basically have a meter up here. And then yeah, so that's pretty much it. Now with your matrix here as well, with your actual output, what I always like to do as well with your output, you see up here, is add a delay. So wherever you're at front of house, it's obviously going to be delayed to the PA and everything. And if you actually delay it to the same time it hits you, you can actually not be competing as much with the PA, trying to hear your PFL and PFL. And yeah, it's really good with headphones because it means you don't actually have to turn it up as loud. You'll find to be using PFL and hear things. So that's also really good. Set your delays for that, and I reckon we're looking pretty good and ready to run a show file at this stage. Also insert line check and sound check. There's two main ones. Now, of course, you've got pre-show announcements and everything like that. I always come down here to view options and set my brightness to as low as it goes. That's looking pretty good. Another thing I always do is I go to layout, fader banks. I come up here and I insert my main to my master, and also my solo can have a small one, and these are pretty much just always going to live on here. Of course, I'd normally have a big one for my PA on here, And yeah, so that is pretty much the whole show pretty much ready to go. What else do we need to do? So you've got your oscillator here. Actually that's what we can do now as well, is our tuning layer. So if we come here, I can have it on, actually I might, right, so I'll do it on my right, it can be down the bottom here, and all this is going to have pretty much is just things I need for tuning a PA. So it'll be up here, and then we come here, we go edit. Like I said, I'm doing everything like twice right now, so it's going to be yeah, I'm forgetting heaps of stuff because I've already done it. But yeah, so you've got your oscillator and your pink noise and your white noise, and we can these are going to be into our master, and then patching. We can already patch these because we already know what they're going to be. Is main out input, go internal miscellaneous oscillator, and go pink noise, and then our white noise, and of course you can route these if you already know what they're going to be. Like front house talk back is giving 8, and then these are going to be 1 to 4, so you can go ripple 4, okay, and then these are going to be 6 internal effects. Okay, so actually we can't do that, so go drum plate, and this one is going to be our sorry, one sec. So drum plate, and then this one's going to be large hole. This one's going to be a chorus. So like I said before, this is all the returns from the auxes going into the unit, effect unit, and then this is the return from that unit. This is going to be a vocal plate, and then we've got a Vox hole return, and then a Vox delay return. Alright, so now that we have routed everything, I'm not sure what my side stage and MDs and crowd mics are all patched to, so that's why they're blank. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Of course, I don't know what my PA is going to be because, yeah, that is looking good. They do have 2 solo buses, but you only really will only be using the one. Right, so yeah, you can see down here we've clicked assign, and then we can go up here to our brand new oscillator. Boom. we've got our tuning stuff. And we can go up here, layout, data banks, and let's call this tuning. Right, so that is looking pretty good so far. So we've got all our main stuff, all our miscellaneous, our effects, solo, tuning, and all our aux. And then, of course, you just add in everything else what you'll need for a show from this point. So this is looking pretty good. Of course, you can go through your options as well. So your touch keyboard, yes, you want that. So I probably should have done this earlier, but yeah. So you can also have stuff like your screenshot, snapshots, overview, which is always handy to have. You can have that, which basically just does this. And then you can have your global second function apply to the whole console instead of just one surface. And then we have that. Auto cancel second function, and then we have that, 10 seconds. Bank switch assigns to center screen, and then we have that. And then you got your faders, so your fader assigns channel, so that's if you touch the fader, it can automatically change it. I don't preferably have that. And then fader, so that's just for graphic EQs. Of course, you can have it for inputs as well. Control groups, I normally have control groups as well as just control groups and graphic EQ. And then fader touch control. Actually, sorry, I don't have that for control groups. Fader touch control protected, and then yeah, I'll just go through all these quickly. Solo assigns aux to faders. Yes. Aux to faders includes pan. And then we have this, so that's for the pan knob, and that's for stereo auxes. Actually, sorry, I don't normally have that, but if I am doing monitors as well, I would have that selected, but for this, because it's just front of house, we're just going to have no. Everything is pretty good. You can say that you've got Clang, which is the new surround sound system, sort of 3D panning software. Yeah, that's pretty all good. Disable the joystick. Don't really use it. Brightness. Okay, sweet. Of course, you've also got your macros. You can see here. So we go new. Where you can set up some of these. So I have my effects, tap tempo. So that's here, tempo, and I'll have that on the first key. And then tap. And then you change the color, whatever one you want. That looks good. And then on, we'll do another one. So you can also use this as, you can pretty much use them for anything at all. So I normally also have filing, I have save session, save current session, and this can be right there, this can be yellow, alright, It's good. They're the two main ones, and then you've got as you got like for QLab into QLab and stuff like that. Group outputs. You can do pretty much anything with them. Another one I'll also do is with solo. I'll do it so. Oh, sorry. Actually, with matrix. Matrix outputs. You can mute. Mute. And there you go. Actually, I'm just gonna leave that for now because, yeah, don't need that. But that is pretty much all I'm going to use now. Of course, you can do mutes and everything for your make sure. I was going to do one for the wedge, but don't really need it because, of course, we have put on a sound page. They're just right here. You can just mute them right there. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. I reckon that's a pretty good show file for now. We've done all this. Of course, you can add your aux faders here, and you just click it here. You've also got your aux nodes, so that's once you click something, you can choose where it goes. That's pretty good. I reckon that's pretty good. That is definitely a good start for a show file. We've got graphic EQs as well. Actually, we might. No, I reckon that's pretty good. We'll just leave that for now, because obviously once you have matrices and whatnot, you will have that into a graphic EQ. Same for your boxes, but I don't think we really need them right now. So that's pretty good. Of course, they're already here and ready to be used. You've just got to route them. Awesome. I am pretty happy with that. Of course, not going to do our audio I/O yet. We'll do that in the next video. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, so basically, that's our show file right now. So this is our template. We can go ahead and save that. But yeah, this will pretty much, this is what I make for a template. So I can get a patch sheet and then just pour that info into this, and it's pretty much set. This is a base template of how I like to have my console, how I like to, it's how I like to have my workspace and my workflow. Obviously everybody's going to be different, everybody's going to be completely opinionated to what they like. This is what I like, this is how I like to run things, especially when you have more than one bank. Obviously if you have the room also to run all these groups, because they do take up quite a bit. Like there's 9 here, which means it takes up 18 buses. But yeah, that's looking really good right now. I'm going to cut that here. It's probably going for quite a while, and yeah. Alright everyone, so that concludes today's video. Hopefully it was awesome and you guys really learned something out of that. I mostly just did it for fun. To be honest, there's not a whole heap I can really do here in lockdown. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Please like and subscribe this video. And yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, please leave a comment, and yeah, that'll help me really motivate me to make more stuff like this. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing some gig logs soon once COVID goes away and I get to go out again. But yeah, that's all in the upcoming time. And yeah, make sure you stay tuned, guys. Cheers. See ya.